And when you came back to Brunei, were you known as a bassist, or were you still known as a guitarist?
Um, Back then, I wasn't really sure because I think I left Brunei in an awkward time where, yeah, I was gone from Brunei at an awkward time. I think there was it's not made very clear cut, but I think there's a transition of like people in the scene per se. So when I was gone, and then when I came back, early 2018, late 2017, contacts were lost, and basically I had to start fresh, and I didn't really know a lot of people. I think not a lot of people actually know me that are currently in the scene. So I think I would say a lot of people would see me more as a bass player because on my social media at that time there were a lot of bass videos on my social media.
Yeah.
So I think people see me as a bass player then.
Yeah. And you're right. Just looking at social media in the past 2 or 3 years, it's been you primarily playing the bass, which kind of brings me to how did you find gigs back in Brunei, because you know what it's like. It's interesting to say the least.
Yes, it's very interesting. It's like if you look deep into it, it's a very unique system. It's a very unique way of trying to figure out leeways when you're trying to get gigs here. But just to simplify it for the sake of everyone and also time, how I started getting gigs was actually just the simple fact of being able to network with different people. And also, it's actually less about playing the bass. When people hire me, it's always usually because of something else. Like, in my case, people took note of my compositions actually.
Oh, okay.
And so when people look into my compositions, they look into my social media, and then when people look into my social media, they see all the bass videos. So it's kind of directed to that actually, and that's one thing. Another thing would be definitely the power of word of mouth. And when, for example, if you have a friend that you trust says that, hey, you should get this guy, of course you're gonna get that guy because you trust his friend, you trust his intuition. And also another thing would be because I think I think it's just the power of social media, being active on social media, being very diligent, and just posting on local groups, pages, and just sharing my stuff with just relevant people actually.
Okay, so it does work.
Yes, it does.
Sharing on social media gets you recommendations and, well, I mean, gets you jobs. I mean, gets you work, which is good.
Okay. It's simple when you think about it, but the more I look into it, there are steps in trying to maximize, like, to be as effective as possible in trying to find that niche that you want to aim for actually.
Okay. And would you say that live performance alone? Do live performances support you fully at the moment, or do you have to do other things apart from that?
Definitely, I have to do other things as well. Also, because live performances don't go around as often in Brunei. So, and to be honest, the rates in Brunei isn't high per se when you take standards like regionally as well.
Yeah.
So survive, it, yeah, trying to survive being a musician in Brunei, it's the fact that you really need to start wearing different hats, which I think it's also relevant no matter where you are. I think
Yeah, of
globally
course.
you have to start wearing different hats.
I see. I mean, can you name me one of these hats that you have to fulfill or put on?
Composer, yes. We'll start with composer because recently I just finished, doing one gig composing for a short film.
Sure.
So yeah, that's one. Another would be if you're an arranger as well. Basically, you need to sell yourself in a way that whatever people throw at you, they know that you are able to assist them in doing something that they don't fully understand musically. So yeah, music producer, composer, arranger, bass player, guitar player, music educator as well. Just being able to provide as much help in different fields as much as you can.
Yeah.
And to just,
Okay, and speaking compositions, you've been very, from what I've seen over the past year, you've been very prolific in writing or composing songs, and this is just not based, no pun intended, not based on the bass guitar, but
Yes.
just really writing songs, like reimagining jazz standards, for example.
Yes.
And you've also rewritten some traditional Bruneian songs into more contemporary. So, what about that? What made you move in that direction of wanting to make these kind of compositions?
I think it's just the amount of knowledge that I gained from learning in Kuala Lumpur, because my course didn't really, it's not just guitar. We did a lot of composition, arranging, ensemble, music directing, and also orchestration, and just the amount of music theory that they throw at you it's awesome, to be
Sure.
honest.
Yeah, of course, yeah, I imagine.
It's just, and a lot of these knowledge I needed to find a way to use them. I needed to find a way to utilize them. And once I got back from Kuala Lumpur, I had to create these opportunities for myself because no one will know me unless I start doing something. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So, yeah. And I am also, I would say, pretty experimental. I don't delve too much in one genre. I have this habit, whether it's good or not, to really jump different genres and then take things that are interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two elements from this type of music, and then another element from this type of music, and also regarding the reimagining of traditional Bruneian songs, which was my debut EP called Present. The reason behind that was because, first of all, I need a way to utilize these knowledge and to just explore more in terms of sound, in terms of texture, and at the same time, to be honest, the reason why I chose Brunei traditional songs is because no one has ever done it before.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Yeah. So that fed into my experimental habit even further. So 1 plus 1 equals 2.
Sure, not 3.
So yeah. And at the same time, I wanted something that's relevant because I'm in Brunei, so I want to look into something that's relevant, something that is closer to home, something that is that's something that has more reach locally. And I concluded that yeah, let's just try Bruneian songs. Um, and also just trying to find a way to mix that. The whole EP, to be honest, I would call it's a calculated mess. I
All
would
right.
say, because there were a lot of elements going on into that EP. Orchestration, electronic elements, jazz harmonies, and post rock, ambient,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Um, yeah, I was also thinking about it business wise because starting off, no one knows me. What can I do and what can I utilize so that I can start up high? I
Sure.
can maximize the amount of time that I have to start reaching out to potential collaborators and potential people that might need my services and all.
Sure. So you're pretty much building up your portfolio,
Yes, definitely.
you know, because you know, many great artists, many great painters, many great sculptors. I'm talking about from the art side of things. You know, they just need to create. They just need to create something, even if it doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense or if it's not a so-called masterpiece. It always leads to the next best thing. And I think that's important. That it's important you do that because it allows you to practice your craft and hone in on certain strengths
Yeah.
you have. So I think that's a good thing going for you to build up your portfolio in a way that you are familiar with it.
Yeah.
And then,
And
yeah, sorry, say.
I feel like yeah, I agree with you. You just need to start creating, and if you're very intentional with whatever you're doing, and then at the end of the creation, you feel like it's not enough. Just think back that you were very intentional with the things that you're doing, and believe me that even if you think it's not enough, something inside you definitely grew from whatever that you're working on, and it's something that you can use to just put yourself forward.
Okay, sure. And so you work in Brunei for most of your time, but then you occasionally go to Malaysia, and you've got this other group. Sorry, you are in another band called Avery Fos. So
Yeah, Avery Fos.
Avery Fos. So is that
Yes.
is that like a side project which you normally do outside Brunei, or it doesn't matter where you are?
I wouldn't say it's a side project. I would say that it's actually my main project in Malaysia as well. And yeah, I think it's like it's my main project in Malaysia.
Okay, and how did Avery Foss came about? What did that when did that happen?
That started when I was in Kuala Lumpur. Met my friend, my girlfriend now, Phoebe Sen. Yeah, she's the other half of Avery Fos. So when we were in KL, we kind of had this chemistry going on where we were interested in the same style of music, and although we had although we had other interests as well, but we tried to meld all these different things together. And long story short, when we were in KL, we actually produced an EP, our very first EP, and we kind of decided that we like doing this kind of music. Let's start a brand that's like brand band, just with no R.
Yes, because
So
yeah, and because now I understand Phoebe is based in Kota Kinabalu, KK,
yes, yes,
and you are in Brunei, and so although I mean distance-wise, it's not really that far apart. I mean, if you drive up from Brunei to KK, it take about what 5 hours now, which is nothing.
5 hours.
So and so
Road testing.
so despite the physical distance, that hasn't stopped you from still producing music together?
Yeah, definitely no. We feel like just we do agree that there are challenges sometimes because it's music making. It's music making is pretty organic. It's pretty emotional, and when both of us are not in the same room together, it makes a difference. Because again, when we were in Kuala Lumpur, we were there together, and then we were creating things. Compared to now, there's a big, I would say, it's quite a challenge. But of course, we are still making music, and we feel like it's just the advent of technology with the existence of the internet. Like, for example, right now we can Skype call.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge it's a huge help. Skype calls and bouncing out ideas. You don't have to be in the same room all the time.
Sure.
Of course, there's a difference. Of course, like it doesn't beat being physically in the same space together, just creating stuff. But yeah, we don't take it as an excuse to just push further all the possibilities that we have in creating music as well, producing stuff, doing different projects for different clients as well. It's the internet. I would
Of
say.
course, the internet. And with Avery Fos being your main project, main band, is this a project that you see yourself being able to, I wouldn't say make money, but is it something that you can monetize from? Is this a project that you can see yourself helping you to make a living as a musician, or is it just more?
Yes, we are aiming towards that. It's a pretty slow pace currently because for the past few months, both of us have our own individual project as well. So it's hard for us to. It's a challenge to commit to our individual stuff and also trying to push Avery Fos as well. That relates to also how we're not really in the same space most of the time. So some things can be done over the internet, but also some things can only be done when we're both there for a specific project. But yeah, for the big part of it is because we're actually busy with our own stuff. We are aiming towards that, trying to make Avery Fos as a brand, as a name, where people will listen to our music, but at the same time, we also want to do more film scoring stuff, composing stuff as well, with our sounds, coupled with visuals and everything. Currently, it's not there yet, but yeah, we are striving towards that direction actually.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, I'll have to. Well, we have to come to the end of this interview. I think that's a lot of. I think already there's a lot. That's a lot of information that you've spoken about. What advice would you give to musicians who want to start to make a living out of it? What would you advise?
Advice. Which one should I pick?
Just pick one. Just pick one single advice you've. It can be concerned with like just money really. Like how do you?
Okay. One single advice is networking. Networking is power.
Oh yeah. I agree with you on that one. Networking. That's it. Just networking. Just getting to know the right people. Getting to know, those who can help you, not necessarily financially, but those who can lead you towards the next right person.
Yeah, those who can help you, and also those that are seeking help, and then you're presenting yourself as a solution to their problem.
Of course, yeah, exactly, because you are the solution. You are providing ways to help
Yes.
people or other musicians achieve what they want to,
Mm.
achieve their vision or achieve their idea of what they want to do. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great tip, really, networking. Especially in a place like Brunei, I'd imagine, where, it's to important to make sure that people know of you, so that
Yes.
you'd be their call-to guy for like wedding gigs or private party gigs. We can find some.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay, that's a really good piece of advice. Okay, Alicia, thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
So much. Yes.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get to catch up again some point.
Yep.
Maybe a few months or a year down the line, you'd be you'd be creating new stuff, or you'd be embarking on new projects within and outside Brunei. So I wish you all the best.
Likewise.
Yeah. Okay. Take care. See you.
All right. Take care. See you.